time through a preseason, obviously, and how important is it? I mean, you guys have had some key guys out. It looks like RJ's going to be out for a little while. Is that the kind of stuff that it only becomes important maybe closer to the regular season?
Like the guys are out, you mean?
Yeah, just having guys out.
I mean, it's always good when guys are playing because you got to build that connection, that cohesiveness, especially for a unit like ours who hasn't played a lot together. Those are important moments and times. So hopefully, obviously RJ's not too bad. Hopefully we get Quick back here pretty soon. But yeah, I mean, these are just days and games to keep building on.
The other side of it, of course, is that it does open up some opportunity for the younger guys. Have you sensed that they acknowledge that, recognize that, and they're taking advantage of that?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, sometimes you're so young, you don't know what you don't know. So, but I hope they're taking advantage of it. And we've been telling them, you have an opportunity, go and show what you can do, and play hard and together and play the right way. But it's also, like you said, it's valuable to get those guys minutes and game experience and stuff like that as well, because in the season, people are going to get dinged up, people are going to miss some games, and you're going to need those guys. You're going to need a full 15, 17, 18, whatever it is, to contribute during the year as well.
It's such a small sample size, but has anything stood out to you in a game action scenario?
In what way?
Like just from the new players, new guys?
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything stands out because everything's new, and you have a bunch of new guys, new system, everybody playing different together. But I thought we played well in Montreal against Washington. Everybody who played contributed in a positive manner, and that's really a positive thing to see.
Kelly, we've seen you run a lot of the offense with the second unit, both at the open practice and also in the first preseason game. I know that's something you already have done even last season, but sort of is that what we can anticipate this season, you kind of running point almost for the second unit?
Hopefully. I mean, we'll see where it goes, but obviously with different lineups and units, you have different strengths, and you can play different ways. And I think that was one way, especially in the open scrimmage and the lineup that we had in Montreal, for us to get the ball moving and exploit some things and get some good shots.
We saw you playing a lot with Ochai as well. Ochai screening for you in particular.
Yeah.
Is that something new that you guys are sort of working into the offense this year in terms of just his new role? Also, were you guys doing that in Utah?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely did a little bit in Utah.
Okay.
I'll have that familiarity with him. He's a really good roller. When he's in the pocket, he's athletic, can finish, make plays. So, obviously with him, that's a really good position to put him in to succeed. And, that's what we're trying to do out here, is just put everybody in the best positions to succeed.
I think Darko mentioned after the open scrimmage that interaction you had with Ochai could be Scotty too. For sure. I mean, Scotty's elite at that as well. Rolling, hitting under, playing in the pocket. He's a big body, strong, can finish, can really pass. I mean, that'll be an elite position for him to get the ball as well, and hopefully we can get him there multiple times a game.
How important is having guys get reps in the preseason for the start of the regular season? Can you just kind of, October 20th, you guys will be good for the 23rd, or do you need these opportunities to be ready for the first few?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the more reps you get, the more ready you're going to be. But you also have to manage, your health and your body, and you want to be, on the upward climb on October 23rd. You don't want to be, trembling on October 23rd. So, for us, it's about, getting good reps, together, building that, making sure that you're ready to go. So when, the season kicks off, you're on the upswing.
Yeah, a lot of talk in camp, even going back to media day, about the emphasis that Darko's putting on the defensive end, specifically at the point of attack, guarding the ball. What are the biggest differences in terms of what he's emphasizing, like scheme-wise, compared to last year?
I mean, I don't think there's a major difference. It's just like the point of emphasis on the aggressiveness is even higher, I'd say. Like that's probably the one thing you notice the most when you watch us play, and also you notice in practice.
Is it a bit similar to what you guys were doing under Nick a couple of years ago? I mean, obviously you were known for your aggressive defense a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I think you could say that. I mean, I only played like half a season under Nick, so it's tough to compare. But it was similar in that sense, where we had a lot of pressure on the ball. We had a lot of aggressiveness on switches, especially like stepping out on the three-point line. So yeah, I think you can compare it.
Have you noticed the difference, like even in practice, in terms of how guys are getting after it and what you think you guys will be able to do on the defensive end this year?
I mean, we still got to prove it in games. Like I think in practice you can tell the difference. Yeah, like compared to most other seasons, we are at a level of intensity and aggressiveness that like I haven't seen at this point in the season. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see how it plays out. Hopefully, we can translate it into the games.
What's it like for you seeing guys like Jamal and Davion whizzing around and creating chaos at the point of attack?
I mean, it's great. Obviously, like they're both they have like a similar defensive style where they're both kind of really annoying, aggressive, like into you, and it helps everybody else because they can navigate situations, they can navigate screens in a way where they often don't need as much help, and then it makes it easier on everybody else in the rotations.
I was gonna say, how does that change things for you defensively in terms of just like those guys putting so much pressure? We saw like at least 3 moving screen calls, in the first preseason game. How does that change for you playing behind them on defense?
Yeah, like I said, if our guards can get around screens, like figure out defenses through like shifts and closeouts to where we're not even allowing penetrations, like it obviously makes the job a lot easier on everybody else behind it. It makes my job easier figuring out when I have to help and when I don't have to help.
And offensively, you're playing with 2 new point guards in Jamal and Davion. We see you guys connect a couple times in the pick and roll. How's that been, that process of building that chemistry?
It's been really good. I think they're both pretty poised like in the pick and roll, so it helps like when they're coming off, like they make the right read a lot of the times, and I just try to get them open and then give them an outlet, and when they hit me, I'll try and make the next read. Like, do I have a shot? Do I have a pass out? Like, it's pretty straightforward, but connection's been really good.
It sounds like IQ will be back pretty soon. Given how important the connection is between the point guard and the center, do you guys need a certain amount of time together going into the season, or can you just kind of build off of what you guys had last year?
I mean, obviously, like the more reps you get in, the better. And live reps are even better than in practice. Obviously, like it might be a little bit of a coming back phase in the beginning, but Quick and I have put in a lot of work this summer. We're putting some work together as well, where we worked on our stuff. So I imagine it's going to come back pretty quickly.
A big factor on any team is communication, and especially with a younger team that's developing still. How do you feel like your role has changed, even just going into this one? Do you feel like you're communicating more, or?
I mean, for me, with leadership and like communicating within the team, I think I just kind of slot myself into the team, whatever I feel like the team needs. Like if I feel like we have a lot of guys on the team already that know what they're talking about, that are like veteran guys that have the leadership, then I don't want to have too many guys speak up all the time where it gets confusing. But if I feel like there's situations where we're kind of missing that, then I can slot myself into that and take on a bigger leadership role. I find myself doing that a little bit more this year, especially because we have a lot of young guys. But like I said, it's very situational for me. I just try to like read the room and see what the team needs.
Darko, who's left in practice after RJ, suffered the injury with the shoulder? Can you tell us sort of more about sort of his
RJ, very similar injury to the one that Jacoby had. It's his right shoulder. We evaluated yesterday. He did an MRI. He's going to miss the rest of the preseason, and we expect him to come. They're going to go week by week. He will be able to do a lot of other stuff, conditioning-wise, and to address, his health everywhere else with his knees and strength and all of that. So once he comes back, he's going to be in a great position to continue.
How important are these missed opportunities for guys who haven't had all of preseason or all of training camp? Like, are you going to have to use the first few weeks of the regular season to get everyone up to speed and ready to go?
And I'm really looking at game by game. I'm really focusing on a process. And for us, it's very important that obviously that all the players are available and healthy. But, when the situations like that happen, you got to look on what are the silver linings and what are some things that players can do meanwhile to dress that otherwise they will not be able to dress? Is that strength-wise? Is that conditioning? Is that watching more film? Is that adding another skill? So I always try to look at it from the positive side. Obviously, in the perfect world, we would like all the guys always to be healthy and always available, but that's just not reality. We got to deal with it, and I think for me, it's more like game-by-game process, focusing on our constant improvement. And I'm not really looking, start of the season for sure. We'll need a lot of time to get on the same page and get to know each other and to play to the standard. So it's going to take some time for the whole team to get there.
You're going to start the season with probably 4, 5, maybe 6 rookies on the roster. What challenges or benefits is that for Coach?
I always look from a side of potential. I think it's very important for those young guys to get opportunities. Practice is extremely important for us as a young team, and it really makes the difference. And then once those guys, any opportunity they have, they can get on the court and play in the regular season games. It's just an opportunity for great growth. So I'm just trying to look at it from a positive side and from learning side, and that's my approach.
Do you see them helping each other?
A lot. That's a really good question, Doug. Like, this group is very, very connected. Guys did an outstanding job today. Even today in the practice, there were like several situations. I was about to stop and say something, and then players, they talk to each other and help each other. Like, communication is a high level on this team.
Can you walk us through, we saw Ulrich working up in front of us here. Can you walk us through sort of the developmental path and strategy you guys have for Ulrich Hamsik?
For him, this whole season is looking at the big picture. It's a big change for him, being drafted, coming from Cameroon, NBA Academy, and being over here. Being in Toronto is on itself, it's like huge life change. For me, I really want to be conscientious, not to put too much on his plate and not to try to speed up the process. For him, it's going to be a very simple plan, what he needs to work on offensively, what he needs to work on defensively. He needs to learn how to eat, where to eat, to take care of his body, being on a time for a bus, all that kind of stuff that he's going to be able to learn with us and with 905 during this season. So it's a long-term project. We want to give him any opportunity that he improves and gets better without skipping any steps.
Coach, with this being your second year now as an NBA head coach, what takeaways did you have from last year that you're looking to implement into this one, or adjustments, or even continuing over?
Team is just different this year. They're so young. I think it's going to be much more focused on establishing our identity. That needs to be our identity, not from one night to the next night, but just like for the next 5, 7, 10 years. We're really building foundation now, and all I'm trying to do is not to skip any steps. That was the advice that I got from Coach Pop last summer when I got hired, and it was a hectic season, and with all the changes, I was not really able to stick with it. But this year, it's very important to do all the foundation steps the right way and to build this team the right way.
Sunday's game, when quite a bit of those rookies played their first minutes in an official NBA game, there's some moments we saw you talking to them before. What were you kind of telling them before they actually stepped up?
Literally, we're just taking one possession at a time, like how they need to be prepared, how they need to keep their focus. I'm doing a lot of drills in practice that are stretching their limits, like that they need to remember multiple things offensively and or defensively to execute and to be present in the moment. So that's the biggest message that I'm sending them, to be present in the moment and to win every single possession.
Coach, what's something that's impressed you about Jamal's game so far in training camp and preseason?
First thing with Jamal that stands out, he's a winner. Every time when he steps on the floor, he tries to win. And obviously he's really, really good on-ball defender. He's doing a good job of pressuring the ball, but he's also very coachable. And coming from such a program like Houston and Coach Kevin Sampson talks of volume, it really prepared him to this for this moment. So we have a great communication. I'm really able to coach him on the fly, and he's getting better every day, every week.
You think you're going to get some of these guys back? It looks like Quickly's getting pretty close.
Quickly is ramping up his conditioning. Is really well. He's doing a lot of conditioning lately. Very soon he's going to be cleared for a full contact, and we expect to see him playing some of the preseason games as well.